Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep. We find ourselves once more in the map editor. Hopefully we can wrap this up before long because a lot of people are saying, well, can we play the map? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, technically you can play it as it is, but there's a few things we found last episode. A few things that need to be addressed, like the smoothness of the terrain around here. Now I have just been around brushing it up, brushing it all smooth like, and close up. The LOD does look, or level of detail does look pretty decent now. The reason I did that off camera was because I literally just started recording and my phone decided to blow up, and I was like, right, turn you off, throw you onto the sofa, never to be touched again. Mobile phones, they're an interesting device. They basically sit in your pocket and then demand attention. It's kind of like having a dog, or how I imagine having a dog would be, except there's a lot less cleaning up poop afterwards. So that's where we are. So yeah, what I've done is I've smoothed all this off with the smooth brush. Not sort of crazy amount, but this was all jagged around here, and now it is not. The other problem was that the water over here, if we turn the water back on, for some reason this entire mesh was sort of separating, and now we get closer, we can see those bubbles. Very hard to see. Probably, I don't know, but after YouTube compression and everything, it's even possible to actually see that, but that's kind of a something that happens when the water mesh is about to split. So once you get into the game, with wave action and everything, you will see a gap under there, and you'll be able to peek down and see right to the bottom, and it's like, oh no, I don't really want that. So we're going to have to hit the train brush. Now, what are we going to do with this? Probably read height from here and then just brush it back real gentle, turn the amount down. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much longer in here, but I'm kind of at a weird crossroads at the moment. And that is because last episode, we tested the island out. We gave it a little test, and I was like, oh, this is brilliant. It looks really nice. It looks so nice. And then we ran head first into a host of problems. And those problems were the 0.44 update to the game. And that has given me some pause for thought. Specifically, the water update, which I'll let it be known, I hate it. I actually hate it. I don't use that word often. I don't use that word with the kind of, we're now under the map. I don't use that word lightly. To hate something is, what's the camera doing? To hate something is actually, it's an absolute as far as I'm concerned. And in language, I'm very, very careful about using words like love and like hate. But I gotta say, I hate that update. I hate the fact that Stranded Deep has turned into an arbitrary, what do you call it? Bar simulator? Not bar simulator. You have the spreadsheet. That's it. It's turned into a spreadsheet simulator. And if I wanted to play a spreadsheet simulator, I'd go and play EVE Online. I did. I've got an account from 2006 on EVE Online. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. So have we got rid of these bubbles yet? I think so. I think that mesh has now been fixed. Okay. Yeah, so what it is you get your watch out, and then you got the bars, and then you watch them drop. And then you have to go around getting water from plant material. I've had a Collins Jam essay, a survival guide, for almost all of my life, and I've never seen that in it. It's just like, guys, no, Beam Team, don't, please don't. Beam Team are listening, just roll it back, or get rid of it, or set it on fire, or throw it off a cliff, or all of the above, because honestly, it's actually, for the first time in 2 years, made me not want to play the game. It's that bad. And that's not hyperbole. That's not me just saying that. I genuinely am at this weird impasse where I just don't want to play, because it's becoming a chore to manage these bars. And I have used SQL before, Microsoft SQL, Microsoft SQL. I've used MySQL. I've used all these other things. Did we work out these were okay? Yeah, we worked out these were okay. I might do something over here just to help people up on the island. It's not good. And the coconut thing is just... I understand why they're doing the thing with the coconut. So if you don't know, you eat one coconut, you're fine. You eat two coconuts and you poop. And it's... I don't even know, because in real life, coconuts you can eat every day. It's one of like the staple foods. In fact, in the I think it was I'm a Celebrity, one of them, the one in the jungle. Their staple diet was freaking coconut, and they had to earn the ability to eat other foods. So it's like, well, why are you doing this? Why? Well, it's because the coconuts are everywhere, and people were just getting them off trees to eat and drink from. But I mean, it is a video game, and I know people in the forums are like, well, make it more survival orientated. No, stop that. Make it more interesting, diverse, and varied. Don't say, well, you've got these bars on your watch, you got to watch them a little bit more. I mean, that's just... and it's me having a rant, but oh my word, I was not prepared for 0.44. Yeah, I'm hoping that I can get hold of this rock and move it down. So there were a few things... sorry. So I'm going to get off, but oh, I hate it. I hate it when you get something that's beautiful, there's something that works, there's something that was different to other things, and then the people in charge of it just go, you know what, we're just going to middle management all of this and make it terrible for everyone. Okay, so let's recap. What have we done? Well, we smoothed this off over here. That was good. We've sorted the water mesh over here so that the mesh doesn't break anymore. This bit was kind of hard to jump up on, so what I've done is I've added Cliff 3 because it has a nice slope on it. Let's display the ocean. There we go. So we go underwater. We got this nice big slope, so hopefully you can help you get up. We know we can get up over here because we've done it. Where are we in the world? Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? It's they are here. So we know we can also get up on this side because we did it. Why don't we do the same thing over here? We're going to throw Cliff 3 in and throw it down. Press R. Let's get this sorted. So we've got this nice sort of sloped side. We'll push you in there. All right. So hopefully, we know that might be a bit too steep. So we will use R to rotate, T to transform, move this up. No. No, Mr. Superman, he's not here. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna do this. Let's move this out and then make it a little bit more shallow by hitting R. So what we're doing is we put this in. It's got a nice flat side to it. And if I go underwater, you should be able to swim up here and then just kind of not swim anymore. So that's good. So that's better. I think the angle of this was too much for you to do that, but this is a lot shallower. So hopefully you can now just kind of not turn the water off, actually. Water, display ocean's off, and there are no gaps in the thing, so that's good. One of the things we were looking at not doing was adding too much loot to that. I've revised that, unsurprisingly, because yeah, I just like a rush of blood to the brain. I'm like, no, people are here to have fun, and I am going to add a little vignette here. So I was like last time, should we add a vignette? Should we do it? Yeah, let's do it. So we'll turn the terrain on. Display. Boop. We know this raft is going to be a pain in the butt. If we pop it to the sea, it is going to disappear. What is the point of this island? There is no point of it. All the other islands have things. That's an object. We want an object thing. All the other islands have a reason for you to be there. So what we're going to do is add a resin to be here. We're going to add this lovely yellow and orange life raft. This is delightful. This is lovely. It is most good. It's, the visuals. Actually like it. I like it. I like the blue and I like the orange. And what I'm doing is I'm just positioning it to a point where it can just settle. But because it's a physics object, it's not actually clipped into anything, so it doesn't like suddenly explode upwards. It's one of these things that you're going to have to come and test. It will probably explode outwards as soon as you get to the island. You'll see it sort of fly off into space as everything loads in, and then it might actually just be settled on the beach. Right, so that's, as far as I know, that's good. Right, so we've added that there. Why have we added this here? Because we're adding a vignette. So one of the things, so what have we done? What have we fixed? We fixed the rock over there while I was complaining about the game, and you guys were going, oh, why is he doing that? We fixed the water, we fixed that over there, and yeah, we need a little vignette. So, items with the air tank. Air tank? Yes. I had a change of heart. I was like, well, you know what? May as well add the air tank into it. Got to be a little bit careful, because I know from previous experience that some items don't like being placed. Oh, so this is the camera at full speed now. This is the camera at full speed, and this is because we're so close to a bunch of objects. Don't like being placed within like the bounds of another object, but what I'm going to do is place it here, and hopefully it will not only stay there and not roll off anywhere, but it'll also it'll be interesting. Okay, it'll be fine. So I'm not going to add anything that's not useful. Compass. We could throw a compass and then maybe a couple of food ration tins. Let's do the food ration tins, because if you are on this island, chances are you're going to want some food. This is the change of heart, basically. I'm like, no, that was a pain in the butt last time to try and get something real quick. So a couple of tins, and there's two reasons for that. If this thing starts to roll, and I hope it doesn't, it might get stopped by the food tins. So there we are. So we've got a little vignette. I don't think we can throw down things like fires and stuff because they're not a physics object. Let's have a look. No. So there's a lot of things that we can't throw down. So we can't like create a fire. We can't do anything like that. There's machetes, leather lashing, lantern. I'll tell you what, we will throw down a lantern. I have put lanterns down before, and if you put them on rockety rock, this stuff here, sometimes they end up underneath the rock, just sat on the like the island mesh, but not on the rock itself. And sometimes they're absolutely fine. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm just going to make it so it's actually just slightly above the island, because again, it's a physics object. It should settle fine without rolling off into the sea. We don't know. That's what, again, another thing we'll need to test. And then what we can do is throw some plants on here. So we'll go to the trees. I don't think I want a banana plant. Let's throw down one of these. Cool. Press R to rotate, so we'll get it more upright, and then press T to transform, and then let's do this. It'll rotate real quick. So I just want to get you in on the thing. And what about over here? Something over here as well. We've got another plant. We've got an aloe vera we could throw in. I suppose that would work quite well, because we are putting stuff underneath the trees as a little gift to the player, but at the same time there are quite a lot of gifts on this island. But then this is one you actually have to swim to and sort of path your way up onto. I think that's enough. There's a tin with some stuff. There's no skeletons and stuff in the game, so we can't really do that. That'd be nice if we could put like a corpse or something there, but there's no airplane wrecks either. The airplane wreck got removed, so that would be a nice little wreck we could have used. But now we have a little, so we click off and on, we have a nice little vignette. There's not too much stuff there. There will be like loot inside the life raft as well, and obviously the life raft is a little bonus, but it's more to say, hey kids, come out here, find your way onto this big islandy thing, and get yourself a prize. And if we go to terrain and we change the time, ooh, there we go. Ah, yeah, look. So this, you just kind of ignore the redness around. This is all lit up, so you've got that nice orange being reflected off the light itself. So hopefully, the light actually stays and doesn't roll off into the sea, because otherwise you won't see it at all. Fine. So there's an air tank now. PP was the other thing we need to put down a lot more of, because one of the changes, so we go to trees, PPP. One of the changes was to add sea snakes into the game. So the game now has a lot of sea snakes in it. A lot of sea snakes. So you've got spiky poisonous fish, you have your lionfish, and you have your sea snakes. And it's woof. Yeah, there's a lot of things that go bump in the night, and they are not happy to see you. We are going to put PP down. So let's have a little bit of PP there. Let's have a little bit of PP here. Why are we doing so much stuff to help the player? Well, exactly that. We're kind of, I don't know, are we fighting against the game at this point? There's another PP. We'll put enough, I think it's two PP for a medicine, and everything else that you're going to need to grow. So let's put down some more. Boop. So there's 4. That's enough for two shots of medicine, and if you really, really want, you can farm it. So there's a thing. I think we put some down over here, didn't we? That's aloe vera. There's some PP there. Wait a minute. It's got a thing. It's got a flower. Has this got a flower? No. Huh. Is that the wild lava plant? Wait a second. Do we put that in the wild lava plant and not PP? We did. Oh, right. That's the wild lava. Okay, right. Okay. We'll put that out as well. I mean, I don't think it has any function at the moment, but let's do it. I'm going to do it. It's a pretty pink flower. Okay. So there's at least 2 of the things. I think that is... Yeah, that's the pink flower. So we got PP in the other one as well. Good. Let's throw down do we want to throw down another one? Nah, let's do it. So we've taken care of... What are we taking care of? We've taken care of poisoning. Air, if people want to use it. I mean, it's a long way down. You might get cold. I don't know if you still get cold from diving deep. Not sure, but... We're being kind. We're being kind to the player. Speaking of being kind, leaves, because people are gonna need to drink and they're gonna need sustenance. So we have 2 yuccas, 3 yuccas. Okay, 3 yuccas are okay. 4 if you want to come across the island, and speed over here. Is that anything over here? What have I put anything here? Let's put another one here. Okay, fine. This one is completely barren of stuff. Okay, fine. Yucca, you, it is your mystical magical day. You have become the thing that we are going to rally around and champion. Good. We'll put another wild lava plant down because it's got a nice pink flower. It doesn't do anything, but you can bet your butt at some point. And we'll put a PP down as well because we can. There we go. No food here. Don't know. Young palms. I'll tell you what. No. That's too much. Much too much. Pines. There's pines and things. Okay, Kura ficus. Little Kura. I don't know. Let's put this lad down. Let's get some shrubbery. No, he's too big. You're too big. Go away. All right. All right. The Nana? The Nana's kind of cool. There's a little rampy thing there, which people will probably use to jump off of the island. I think I did when I was testing this. But the Nana's nice. Okay, fine. That's probably enough stuff there. Yep. Do we want to smooth this off? I think I do, actually. Set terrain, set smooth. The amount is cranked all the way up. We want to turn it down a little bit because this is a very, very steeply shelving mesh. So we don't want to have it too big and just like suddenly lose a huge chunk of the mesh. Right, okay, fine. And what is this? That's okay, that's fine. So I think that was all of that. What else was there to do? Oh yeah, this lad was not rendering. I kind of figured it might not do it. These things are a pain in the butt. I don't know why. Sometimes they just don't. They don't appear. So we were going to use this as decoration, and I don't know what causes it to not appear. Maybe it's because it's in the ground. Maybe because it's part of it's below sea level, or it's a height issue thing. I could test it by bringing it up. Maybe just raising it up bit by bit by bit. It's kind of cool to have it as a structural thing. Leave that with me. I'm gonna have to test that. Maybe it's an altitude thing, because I do like them having like just poking out of the sand, but sometimes it doesn't work. And maybe I'm thinking maybe it's because it's below a certain part in the water, and it's just like, well, now I'm not going to render it because last time we had it in the beach. On one island. Oh, what is that? Oh, every time I touch something, it's down here. What is it now? It is this. Basically, if you don't want to mess with anything in your hole, you've got to look away. Let's turn the display ocean off and just make sure we haven't moved anything too badly down here. I don't think so. Let's hit up objects. I don't think so. Everything's looking pretty much the same. Fine. See, it gets very dark down here. Even it's to do with altitude. Even if we are, right at the bottom, it's almost completely black. Then we move up, and then everything gets a bit more colourful. And then as soon as you're far enough away, the camera just goes mental. All right, okay, fine. We'll leave that for the time being. We'll leave this for the time being. I'm going to play with it and maybe run some experiments. I'll do that off camera because it might be just a lot of clicking backwards and forwards, moving it, loading in, moving it, loading in again. Bob Ross's happy little bush. Okay, fine. This was not working for me. What we're going to do is we are going to put these up on their ends, and we are going to move these out and down and actually make a little stone circle. I was thinking about this and I'm like, you can't have something that isn't good. So we are going to do this. Yeah, this is going to work. This is going to work well. So what we are basically doing is putting these stones around the outside. So they're deliberately up in the air. So you can see that they have been placed. Not by us, obviously. Not by us, because although we are the map maker, this is something that was done by ancient peoples visiting the island a long time ago. Or maybe it was tourists. You know, tourists do some weird things. So we'll do this. So it's a definite placement of material. Cool. And then we'll copy by pressing C to clone. And cool. Right. That's a little bit more. Hey, there's something a bit strange with this shrub. 5 points. Why 5 points? Don't know. You find stools. Okay, so here's an interesting thing. Stools, milk stools, or things that go in a dairy, typically had 3 legs. 1, 2, 3. Not even joking. That is a thing because the floor of a milking parlour was typically uneven, and if you had 4 legs on your stool, it would always rock on the ground. You would never be able to get it firmly level on the ground, so it would always move around. If you have 3 legs, it will always sit firmly on the ground. So there's a lot of fun thing. That's why cameras, you don't have 4 legs on a tripod, you have 3, because with 3 legs on the ground, they are going to be very stable. If you try to put 4 legs on a tripod, and you can, I think I've seen light stands with 4, they just wobble around and it wouldn't be any use to hold the camera stably. Right, okay, so that looks a little bit better. Bob Ross's bush now has, it's been deliberately placed in there and now rocks around it. That looks infinitely better. Right, okay. Other things, that wreck is pretty sweet. That wreck is also pretty sweet. I'm happy with that. Everything looks pretty good. This was okay. I wanted to move these in a bit, only because they might stop building here on the grassy area. So I was like, I don't know. I don't want to stop people building around. Okay, fine. So I think that's all the items that we needed to look at. Soften that. Make sure the water mesh here was okay. I'm not seeing any more. Oh, there's a little bit of bubbles there. Oh, and here. We're going to be chasing bubbles. It's almost impossible to see. You have to get real close. It is, okay, let's hit up terrain. Let's just hit up lower. Make sure the amount's down. Crank that brush up and just, let's raise. I want lower. And just kind of push it back a little bit. Push it back a little bit. Okay, and then wait for the bubbles to pop. And then use this, crank the amount up, and then smooth it off to get a bit of a smoother transition between beach and sea. Okay, right, we've got bubbles there. That's it. I think that's it. Oh, let's just check here. Oh, bubbles here. Right, okay. Let's bring that up. Up you come. Up you come. So we have to play with the smoothing brush and then push it down and bring it up and push it down and bring it up. We'll do the same thing here. Make sure the amount's down. Oh, inherited amounts on the sliders. Always have been a pain. Always been the Achilles heel. Who was Achilles' mum? Oh, that's going to bother me. It's not Dionysus. It's not Demeter. Demeter's Persephone's mum. I was listening to a podcast, and it was like, they were talking about gods and goddesses and how the older gods tended to be female. And then there was a point in history, and a lot of newer gods are male. It's like, okay, that's kind of, yeah, makes sense. And they were like, well, if you ask someone what's your favorite, who's your favorite god, or name a female god, people tend to struggle, and it's just like there's the entire freaking Greek pantheon. I mean, Zeus kind of dicked around for most of it. You had Hera, and they were the Olympians, which came after the Titans, because Zeus's dad was a Titan. But yeah, you kind of had quite a lot. I mean, obviously Persephone, Artemis, she was goddess of the hunt. Yeah, there was quite a few. So I think that's all sorted out there now. Those bubbles are gone. We fixed that. We've added the vignette. We've sorted that out over there. We've added PP, so poisoning is mitigated. There is kind of a lot of fibrous leaves. we haven't been able to add certain things. I want to leave this area open. Okay, fine. We need to do a foliage pass, and we need to add some important things. I'm going to add the animals last, absolutely last. Animals, because of their nature, I do want to add them. There will be sharks, but there will be black tips, reef sharks in here. That's definitely something I want to do. Okay, we need to do a foliage pass, basically, which means all of the things so far have been, all the foliage we've added so far has been part of something. Little vignettes or deliberate placement of stuff, like the trees around the entrances to the hole, just are basically markers to mark the entrance to the, I guess, lagoon, but it's not really a lagoon, it's a hole. Other things like the ficus that they mark where goodies are, so medicinal plants or food plants. The pines are there to add structure to the island. There are little woods and things. So far everything has been, pretty standard, stranded deep. Now we're going to go around and do a bit of a foliage pass. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to start off with pine trees. No, we're not. Pine trees. We added pine trees until the game told us you couldn't add any more, which I think it's like 5 of each. And then when you click off and click back on, it'll allow you to put 1 more down. So you'll be able to, wrong one. And then it'll say maximum reached. But as a way of trying not to cause lag, we're going to not have the extra ones we can kind of cheat in. So we're going to leave those. Palm trees are the ones I wanted. So let us put some palm trees down. We're going to get some palm 2s, some palm 3s. We're going to hit R, actually. So when we put them down, we're just going to give them a spin, just a little rando spin. So we're going to put them on the outside, I think. And we can pair them up, big ones and small ones. It's not too bad. T is going to allow us to bring it out. We might need to drop it down a little bit. Let's do this. You can come over here. This is snapping to the things behind, but okay, fine. Then give it a little spin. It's just that these two were a little bit too close. I didn't want the leaves touching each other. Pine 1, no, palm 1. Oof. I keep getting the wrong ones. What do you want? I keep getting the wrong ones. Good. Right. So why are you adding way more palm trees? Well, one of the big problems with this island, which you can already see, is the fact that we haven't been able to put rocks in the middle of it to stop you seeing from one side of the island to the other. So one of the things we can do is create some density with trees by putting in a few palm trees here and there, just to break up the horizon. So we'll do this, throw them in, give them a spin. Throw it in, give it a spin. One of the things we can also do is open up the rocks, and just throw a rock down on the beach. Again, goes back to the idea of you can key stuff in. So we'll hit R, pop that down into the water. Is that a problem? No, because chances are you might drag a raft into this area, but you're not going to be sailing a raft up there. So we're not stopping people landing stuff on the beach. Go back to trees, and then we find our palm trees, pine trees, palm trees, palms. Ooh, it is something just in my hand. I cannot quite. It is in the ball of my hand. No, it is in the. Oh, what is the word? That's cool. Yeah, so we're going to throw some stuff down. Do we want to throw it on the inside? Have we thrown anything on the inside yet? No, we deliberately wanted to keep the inside open. That was a thing that we were doing. Right, okay, fine. So we are going to go on the outside again and carry on doing what we have been doing. So you can come in, you can get a spin. You can come in, you can also get a spin. Yes. Yeah. No, this is good. Do you want to come in? Get in here, palm tree. Rickety rocks, where are you? We're going to get a rock in there as well. Throw you in, drop you down. So you are on the ground. Press T, get you in. Nice. Actually, no, that is nice. Come back up here. So we got the palms, PALM. Nice. Rotate, real quick rotate. Cool. And probably add another. Let's add a big boy palm here and a little palm over here. Nice. All right. Okay. Cool. And so this isn't too bad here. It's kind of this bit in the middle is not really working for me. Let's do a little delete, make sure we have got the right thing selected. Palm trees only have the little circle around them. If you have the rotation option open, we can go and get another rock. Rock. Where are you? We don't want cliffs, we do want rocks. Oh god, I can feel it. I can feel it's so close, this island. Yeah, there's not too much we have left to do. Animals, obviously one of them. So we'll do this. We can actually move this up here a little bit. Oh, yes. Yes, here it comes. Palms. Right there. That. I don't like putting the stuff, because it's such a small island. Having it just there without anything just doesn't feel right, if you know what I mean. We can also add plants. So, plants, other plants, young palms. Well, we're going to do that. We're going to put some young palms down, just to give some, like, the impression of life propagating. Also, fibrous leaves, because, oof, it's a rough time in the game. Fibrous leaves are coming out. Good. You might disagree, actually. You might be like, no, this is exactly what I've been looking for. I really like doing this sort of stuff. I've got myself a Fitbit, and I like waking up in the morning, and it tells me I need to get my ass in gear. And I'm like, oh, I really do like my ass, so I will get it in gear. Run 5 kilometers, smash some mango juice, which is, by the way, I'm not just saying mango juice because it's something to say. I love mango juice. But yeah, no. I'm Fitbitting up. I'm going to get my mango juice on, and then I'm going to work out what the heck was down there. Don't know. Interesting. Ooh, it is delightful, no? So I'm going to throw these in. Young Palm 2. We just did a pass with Young Palm 2. Now we're going to do a pass with Young Palm 1, which is a slightly different shape, and it is bigger. And I'm going to throw you over there. I'm just going to throw these guys on the outside, basically. I'm going to throw them around. Just casual. This is the point where you just kind of throw it in, but you give it a little spin, and it's kind of you're still aware that you don't want to have that sort of clone stamp feel to the island. That the island, you don't want to make it look like this stuff has just been added. Like you've just been pressing C and then just adding like an avenue of trees, and it looks terrible. Let's be honest, if you do that. But at the same time, there's only so much time you can spend on an island, and I think we're feeling it at this point. So we're throwing the stuff down to get these leaves. Palm trees. Did we throw some young palms out here? Yes, we did. We are good people. We are good people, Charlie Brown. Right, okay, fine. And the outer ones, they got small ones. And over here, interesting. Yeah, that's a young palm there. Let's throw one over here as well. I'm going to do it. There we go. Are you floating? You are floating. I don't want you to float. Let's get you in the ground. I think some of these will kind of float. Yeah, it's not that noticeable, to be honest. There we go. Bonk. We might just have to just oh wow, go around and pop these in the ground. I think it's where they have touched like another object. Some of these are all right. Yeah, I think most of these are actually going to be fine. If they touch another object, like a rock or something, then they might just be bound to it's like outer geometry or whatever. No, everything else seems to be okay. Right, okay. We are good. So what have we got? We've thrown in enough, there's enough PP, enough wild lava. even though it doesn't seem to do anything at the moment. The PP does, the wildlife doesn't. Potato plants, we can't really put potato plants in because they don't work. Look, they don't work. I would put all the potato plants so you get fuel and stuff. So there's gonna be a problem with this island. There ain't gonna be no fuel. Okay, fine. Do I want to put more yucca down? Yeah, no, yeah. I think, yeah, more yucca. Why not? Let's just tuck it in here, just all subtle like. I would normally say, no, we've got too much yucca, but oof. It's a rough time. So what we're doing is because the stuff regrows every 48 hours, you can quite easily get into a situation where you run out of material and you have to just harvest the island. A lot of people say, oh, use palm leaves. It's like, yeah, but that means deforesting the entire freaking island. And do you really want to deforest your lovely handcrafted island? I'm kind of saying I'm going no on this. So yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. There's one in there. Okay, fine. Pine trees. There are small pine trees which we can throw in. Where are you? Young. It'll be young palm. Pine small. There we go. Pine small. So let's get these lads in. It's kind of terrain and then objects, so we're not accidentally moving things around. Pine small. Pine small 2. Okay. This will be fine. The first one can go in like that. And we're going to put the pines with the other pine trees. We're just going to put R to rotate because they will just bind to the mesh, so they might not be standing upright. We have just slammed the camera into a tree. That's a problem. There we go. There we go. Good. Oh, no, that's the rock. Okay. Let's put you back. Because you want to put the pine in and then give it a little spin. Trouble is, if you do that, you might end up spinning something like it's done now. The more materials you get, the more chances are that it will just snap to something else in the world. Is that actually upright? No. It is now. It's like having a photograph of the sea. You just kind of want to make sure the horizon's level, you know? Get that level horizon. Right, okay, cool. We'll do the same thing here. You could be upright. And then give you a little spin. Okay, cool. We'll do the same thing over here. Make sure you're in there. And make you upright. Upright. Right. Don't need to spin yet because you're so far away from everything else, but we will hit terrain and objects because I saw it snap to something else and I don't want to accidentally spin that around or move it or whatever. Because you can do that. You can get into a situation where you are moving things around accidentally kind of in the background without knowing it. And you're like, why is that shipwreck now halfway to Mars? It's like 30 seconds from Mars. I don't know what's going on. Okay, cool. So yeah, more trees. Mortivica. Which is a diversionary tactic. Mortivica. You hear it a lot in everyday sort of parlance, I guess, in the UK. And people say it without knowing what it actually means. And it's I think it's from Stage or The Stage. And it's a way of saying, oh no, something crazy or lewd is going on. And the vicar, obviously being an upstanding citizen, would not be involved with such thing. And you go, oh, Mortivica, to distract them. It's a distractionary tactic. So yeah, that's where that comes from. We're going to add these lads in. They can be used as fuel, but they can also be used as decoration. Give you a little spin. Make sure you are in fact upright because trees grow up. Cool. Same thing here. It's kind of, you just have to occasionally just travel around. Cool. So that's a bunch of stuff over there. Do the same thing here. Terrain objects. And then this pine. So these guys are a lot bigger. So you can be a little bit more choosy where you put them. Give them a spin. Nice. That one actually went in quite easily. Do something here. The nice thing about these is if a player comes along and is like, I don't want this tree here, you just chop it down. Let's chop it down. Plastic island. You can shape the island to your needs. Again, it snaps onto something that we don't know what it is, so we'll do this. We'll give you this little spin. Nice. Good. There's a lot of stuff that's gone in. Let's snap you in there. Make sure you are in fact upright. Cool. It's coming along. It's getting there. It's now looking a bit more populated. It was looking a bit sparse before, and now it's beginning to look more like one of our islands. It's beginning to get that feel. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. We fixed a lot of bugs, which is nice. I'm still not sure about this. I think we're going to have to remove it and replace it with something else. Yeah, that's going to be a kind of an issue. So shall we go around bushes? Bushes are a really nice addition to any forest. So we'll do the same thing. We'll just hit R to rotate. Do something over here. Throw a little shrub down. Throw them next to the trees, actually. They make a nice little... do break up the old trunks a little bit. So that's kind of cool. Oh, there's one already there. Let's come over here instead. You can come here. Cool. So we'll put you up there. Are you upright? You are upright. You are most decent. We'll come across here and do the same thing. So we're kind of hopping from one side to the other, mirroring whatever. We decide to change. You could be a little bit more. That's better. A little bit more everything. Nice. There are little things you can do with these sort of forests, like leave areas open where there is no ground foliage or ground plants. And that means that there are paths that are created in the world. Oh, is that root actually? It is in the ground. So you create paths within the world where people can walk along, and it's kind of cool. It makes something that's relatively simple kind of a little bit more interesting. Bearing in mind that typically as players are running around, they're looking for something, so they will literally just hold down Shift and sprint from one place to another. Things that we have neatly not really peered into is the great big blue hole. Interesting. You know what? I've been talking for a long time, so I'm going to leave it there, but we are very close to getting this party started. I'm going to have to look at this. I think, though, we're going to have to remove it and replace it with something. Animals definitely on our list as soon as we get the plants in. I think we'll finish off throwing the plants in next time. The animals are very simple, so we can toss those in as well and maybe fix this. But rest assured, we are not far from completion. So if you're liking this, definitely leave a little like or subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you do subscribe, click the little bell, because you know what? That will give you a notification when a video goes live, and you can not be on the channel, just be like refreshing the page every 5 minutes. You can just get these videos at your leisure. And you know what? I'll catch you next time.